Okay, welcome back. We are in the last episode in this demonstration of hex command gunpowder. Um, there is a couple of updates that we did. First of all, there was one of the units that we forgot to move, and that is shown in the upper right-hand corner here. That was the American force. After the British force moved, we went down and did the bottom left corner units moving and forgot to then also follow up with the Americans in the top right-hand corner. So we went ahead and moved those, and as you can see, there's no combat there. So that's the way the turn ended after all the other items were moved. And I should note here that in many cases, remember what you're seeing here is not exactly the way we do things when it comes to the roads and rivers. This was a proof of concept, which we are thinking now is very attractive. That is to say, the rivers were printed on the laser printer with self-adhesive paper. We were concerned about the fact that on the fabric, which is this hex grid, it wouldn't stick. And we haven't yet tried to peel it up to see if it's too good, to see if it's stuck on there really good, but we will presently do that. But what this does is it offers the possibility of having to get away completely from having the roads and rivers as foamies that are placed down. Why is this a benefit? Well, one of the reasons it's a benefit is you can take the obviously, there's a benefit of the fact that the roads and rivers won't move once you put them down on the fabric. So, accidentally, you can see there's little cracks and stuff here where the foamies have been shifted due to movement and such. But in this case, if we were to also print the roads, the only limitation that there is the fact that I don't think we can get self-adhesive paper in legal size, which is 11 by 14. Is 8.5 by 14, right? That's legal paper. The longer the paper is, the better it would be. Now, we don't want to use a self-adhesive spray because that would just compound the issue and make it, sprays are never good. So we are limited to printing in the color laser printer with 8.5 by 11 or letter size paper. Then it opens up the possibility of doing the roads as well. And as you can see, the roads broken up into 8 by 11 sheets would be probably pretty extensive. But remember, you don't have to have a whole sheet with one strip of road. You can put multiple strips onto the sheet when you print it or in your computer program. Another way that this is done is by laying out the map and then designating the letter size print area. You can then tile all the roads accordingly, or at least by using an 8.5 by 11 inch frame, you can see how the roads need to be output, and therefore you can cut and paste into an area where the whole sheet is occupied with the color of the road, or the strips of the road sections. Granted, another issue or another benefit might be that perhaps you only print certain sections in the paper and self-adhesive down to the hex grid fabric. Maybe there is certain shapes that are either new or not found or lost or unique. Instead of cutting them out of the fabric, instead of cutting them out of the foam, you would just cut them out of the, just draw them in the computer program and then print them. So that might be a possibility. For instance, a unusual T-shaped or intersection of roads or in something of that nature where it might be complicated. Now, there's another benefit to using self-adhesive paper, and that is you can use the road section to go up the side of a hill. Now, granted, there would be the obvious gap between the paper being stuck to the hill material and the edge of the hill, which in this case, if it's not a contour shaped or a sloped cut to the hill, you would have a gap. But that's okay, because you simply fill that gap with foam, bush line, something else. You can fill those gaps, and the paper, you would hope, would still be removable from the hill material. So in that way, why do I say that? Because the foamies are not conducive, because of their stiffness, to going up the side of a hill and then down the other side of the hill. So by using paper in a strip, self-adhesive especially, you can get away from that limitation. So that is our little update for today on the next, or on this current game that we're playing, and the fact that we have a unique situation with the roads and rivers, because generally the roads and rivers follow the hexagon grid, as you would imagine from either the old Avalon Hill days, SPI games, anything that has a hex grid. Generally the roads and rivers follow a hex pattern, and therefore the curves and the T-junctions, or the road forks or river forks, all are conducive to the size of the hex and flow accordingly. But in this case, this came from the Excalibur map, as we said when we started, and it's all custom made because it was an impression of the very cool nature of this particular manor, which is the St. Andrew Leroy Manor in the Excalibur board game, which obviously is only, it's close to what it actually looks like on the game. But we've embellished it, and it's in 1/72 scale. So things are a little different, and the roads needed to be adjusted a little bit for more wargaming purposes. So that's that, and we'll come back with the next moves.